Okay, Esther 14:19. I got this memorized. Let me see. O God, your might is over all. Hear the voice of the despairing. Save us from the hands of evildoers. Save me from my fear. I find memorizing scripture to be really, really powerful, and something that I really, really enjoy doing. It's hard work. It's hard to memorize it. I feel like I have to get through blocks in my brain, honestly. It's harder to memorize it, but of course I'm memorizing music a lot, and music is definitely easier, which there's some parts of me that want to put this to music, right? But I think it's more important for me right now to just be with the raw text and experience what it does to my brain, helping me to reprogram. Like when I'm praying about something or I'm in a scenario, it's very, very powerful. And I'm saying this as somebody who's read a lot of spiritual texts before I ever came to the Bible, and said a lot of prayers and did a lot of healing work and a lot of different EMDR, a lot of different things to rewire and all that kind of stuff. And the Bible is very, very powerful, these scriptures. And what I think it's kind of like a fractal. Like you can zoom out or zoom in. You can take these little pieces of it, like this from Esther 14:19, because it's just a verse. You can take that and say it to yourself for days and days to memorize it, and then it starts to say different things to you, and it starts to change the way your brain can view it. And where does that come from? I mean, I know a lot of people just think that the Bible is just like any other book, but think about it. Like, if we're co-creator beings, and where we put our attention matters, because that's actually the currency of our ability to create. And all these people over history for a very long time have been focused on this book and these writings, like the Old Testament, longer than even the New Testament. But a lot of souls, a lot of minds, a lot of bodies, a lot of attention. And wouldn't that do something to the text itself, even if you took God out of the equation, which I don't think it is smart to do, but I think there's an argument to be made that God could be found anywhere. He's not just in the Bible. I know that's one of the arguments when you come more from New Age, and I can see the validity in that, especially when you know God on that level where he's just like a new awakening almost, and just bam into your heart, flooded with all the love and goodness that he is, and you just can't even imagine evil or badness for some time, right? Because you're just basking in his love. Kind of lost my train of thought, but when you're there, you can't imagine, you're not grounded, really. You're not grounded at that point, and you have to ground in to really be powerful in this world. And that's what happens when you read the Bible. I encourage people to be open to it. I wasn't for a really long time, and I didn't read it. And I read a lot of different spiritual, heavy texts, like the Urantia book and the Course in Miracles. And I don't think I ever did do Thos Emerald tablets, but I'll tell you, I did a lot of stuff. I read a lot of different texts, and they were helpful. I mean, I found them to be helpful in different ways, but they would only get me so far. And then when I think it's because I was ungrounded. I had a hard time operating in this world, which if God is everything, then he's this world too. You can't exclude it. And the Bible has been the thing that's given me wisdom and grounded me, and continues to, and now it's actually being used to reprogram my brain. So I get it. I get why people talk about the Bible the way they do. And I think if you haven't read it, you should challenge yourself to read it and then have an opinion on it, because so many of the people, and I was one of them, who are saying all these things about the Bible, they've never read it. And the thing that got me was I had a friend that would point that out to me, how opinionated I was about it, and would just ask, how do you know? If you haven't read it, how do you know? And I didn't get cajoled into it, but it just said planted the seed. And then when COVID hit, and I was like, what are we going to do with our time? I decided to read the Bible, but I decided to read it from the front to the back. I was raised Catholic even, and that's how little I knew about the Bible. I thought it was a chronological story. But anyway, I stuck with that, and it was great. I loved it. And I think it actually took me 2.5 years And I wasn't like really like, oh, you have to do this. It was like maybe one day I'd read a little, maybe one day I'd read a lot, but every day I did wake up and read it. And it was great. I loved it. But what I didn't expect was to now be admitting that it was life-changing. So, oh God, whose might is over all, hear the voice of the despairing. Save us from the hands of the evildoers. Save me from my fear. And you can even just take, well, I'll say what I'm doing. Maybe somebody's going to say I'm wrong to do this, but I would say, and save me from my fear. Like I might be in the middle of a panic attack or something, and I can say that line. That can come back to me. It's interesting because a lot of times I feel like I've found words in the Bible and phrases in the Bible that have helped my relationship with God to talk to Him, because I have a hard time forming the words for some of this. And my personal opinion is that it's part of the programming that we're all trying to come out of, like a programming that's been designed to make us forget Him and forget who we are. And that's what real awakening is. It's not what you wear or who you affiliate or who you're trying to save. It's nothing image-based and it's nothing superficial. It's as deep as you can go as a being, if you have a soul. Now, if you're just an NPC, I don't know. I don't think you know what I'm talking about.